I knew that was Issa. I had a feeling.
What's up?
Are you gonna play some music? Or are you just jamming?
Hold on.
I remember you used to do some jam sessions back in the day on YouTube, and those were fantastic.
All right, thanks, man. Yeah, I was gonna. How's that sound? Are the levels all fucked up? Is it too loud right now?
Levels are all fucked up. It sounds like you're in a hallway.
Awesome. I appreciate that. You telling me that because I was like, ah.
I know you do play some good music, so that's why I had to say something. I had a feeling it was you. Then I looked at my phone, and there it was. It was you.
Ah, right on, man. I'm hoping. Let's see how this does it. I'm just trying to get. I feel like I'm playing too loud sometimes, and that fucks it up. Those levels better? They're still too high. Where the fuck is
Sounds good to me.
Sound all right? Sun is not far. The moon isn't what they say. Sun is not so far. Moon isn't what they say. I'm just gonna say that down. Everything that glitters is not gold. They sell the dream and steal the soul. See the victim as she cries. Our poets wonder why. Sun is not so far away. Moon isn't what they say. $600 using stars. Our own compass with our heart. Tell lies of love too much to bear. Tell the story beautiful. The sun is not so far away. Moon isn't. The thinker thinks he's on his own. Starting and adjusting to the tone. Shit's done. The clocks they hide in the sticks. I have no. Uh, Trying to think of it. I can't fucking think of it. I remember summers playing till my fingers bled. You sing songs and I'd sing with you. Get drunk and go to bed. And I think of all these memories that I hate to be alone. If you ever get to know that you need me, let me know. It's just too hard to predict it. I got about an hour, so the whole close against my ear. Not so cool. Singing songs that we used to sing. Even alone, yeah, should have seen the morning sun. Thought I'd not get I ain't lonesome, even if it I shots of a gypsy jump that I thought hung on. I remember all those winters, drinking muffins till the drown. We get wind about the party, bundle up and go to town. Never worry about the police, never worry much at all. If you ever think about it, like you need this car, it's just out to get back about an ounce. Close against my skin, ain't me walk like Ciconte. Singing song, you should see what am I taking? Should have seen you for the time, but I got you. I promise on leaving when you out, just, but I thought you come.
That shit was funny.
What's that?
I'm sorry, I was on mute, but I started laughing as soon as you sung that.
Sharon! What? You heard a sad song about the final experiment? Like, oh, Sharon, what have you done? Sharon, what have you done?
That shit was funny.
What's that?
I'm sorry, I was on mute, but I started laughing as soon as you sung that.
Sharon, what have you done? Yeah. Ugh. Oh, yuck. Man, I need a strength. She'll take you and your stars away. She'll take you and your stars away. She walks among us in the rain. Even tell you that the sun shines again. She sneak the food right from your plates. She steal the crumbs that you want to save. She'll take your moon and your star. So many miles, so many miles away, trillions of miles. She'll take your moon and your star. Get down. I'm fighting my cat. She thinks about all this going wrong. It's only opportunity. Even if fantasy, she what it looks like. He should take your moon and your stars. We so many miles, so many miles away, trillions of miles. Stick your moon and your stars away. What a dick. She'll take your moon and your stars. She'll take you and your stars. Let me deal with that. I'm always sweating something. Ugh.
He's about once a month. I still listen to that "Welcome to the Show" song, bro.
Fucking thank you so much, brother. Dude, I love it, dude. I love to see that fucking thing. Like every now and again, I look at it and it's got a little more people watching it. I love that shit.
I truly love that song. I've shared it with pretty much everyone I know, bro.
Thank you so much, dude. Dude, who is that? Thank you so much, dude.
I don't know, but put it in the chat so that we can all have another listen to it, please. Thank
Yeah,
you.
let's do it. Let's chuck it on.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm fucking trying to roll a fatty as I speak right now. However, fucking right. Yeah, dude, we should have our own like flat earth like fucking I guess they kind of did that, didn't they? But like, you know, like cuz there's like an underground flat earth that is completely separate from like the mainstream flat earth.
The Jeranism flat Earth.
Yeah, oh Jaren, what have you done? Yeah. I mean like you divided everyone. We should write the song, really. It writes itself, I think. You know. But yeah, I saw like him and like, or I saw a little bit of his podcast, and it just seems like all the friends aren't friends anymore, and all the bullshit. Oh, man. Oh God, swear to God, I never can fucking rest.
I feel like we haven't seen Whitsid for a while. I miss him. Like, I hope he's not off some sort of wagon of some sort. Should I not be hoping that? Should I just be focusing on myself and the Lord? Or, you know, am I missing Whitsid for a reason?
Well, you know, actually, man, I actually reached out to, you know, I miss a little bit, even as much as like I used to fucking be like, oh God, is Lion. You know, I like that kid Lion, and you know, there's a bunch of people out here that I like that I haven't seen in a minute. But I think like, you know,
Yeah, the New Yorker sounding dude, right?
I don't know. No, yeah, kinda. I forget where he was from.
Lion of
Maybe,
Yar or something. He's a great dude. Yeah,
yeah.
he did say he was going to tap out of the conversation soon.
Yeah, I guess, well, everyone was having their issues. I don't even want to open it up. But I just fucking like people, you know what I mean? And then I don't hear them or you don't see them for a while. It's like, you know, even as much as like, you know, I don't even know. It's like some people you might not even like talk. Even the ballers. I'm like, where is that guy, you know?
Don't worry, I
Hope
see
he's all right.
Lion most
And one of those ballers, would you?
What's that?
Lion, Issa, I see Lion most mornings. I'll let him know you're asking if he's all
Oh,
right.
yeah, actually, I messaged. Yeah, hey, good. I'm glad to hear that. I messaged him the other day, even just because I was like, yeah, you know, like, you know, pulse check. You know what I mean? How you doing, nigga? You know, what's up? And like, he was right there, so that was good. Good to hear he's okay. But yeah, tell him I said what's up for sure. You know, anyone who's like, you know, kind of flat Earth or whatever is cool as fuck. You know, it's probably some of the coolest. Like, we're over here nitpicking about like our different how the government like is going to try to fuck us over or help us or whatever the situation may be. But like, you know, when it comes down to it, man, like even like the ballers out here, and I never like lose sight in this or of this. Try not to. Like, there's not many people that you could talk to about like the beef between Jeranism and like fucking David Weiss right now. Like outside of our small little circle of fucking people, you know, the Globers are into it. The fuck, you know, there's certain like those guys. Anyone who's aware of all this shit is cool beans as far as I'm concerned.
I must
You know?
say, I feel like as you know, we're dropping the flat earthers from a lot of these shows and channels, or you know, these content creators. Where I'm from, southern Australia, near Melbourne, mate. About 5 years ago, I couldn't talk to anyone about this sort of stuff. I had to come on to Discord. But now, mate, so many people are either flat earthers or they're into it around town, in the flesh. So
Yeah.
it's almost no wonder why, like there's been some sort of infiltration or attack at this point.
Well, so well, you know what, too. I always think like you got to also think too like the if it's a psyop, like let's just say that, right? Like, those of us that are at this stage in it, that are whatever, like we're not the issue. We're not the focus for these people either. The focus is the people who are gonna be fucking, like the normies that are gonna get ridiculous about it. You know what I mean? Like you see how they're acting about Teslas? These people keying cars and fucking freaking out and fucking they can't control themselves. Like, imagine if they found out the Earth was flat. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'd lose their mind, and that's kind of the goal of the whole psyop.
Very good point. It's a very good point. About 8 years ago, my brother, who's a journalist and an atheist, I started talking about flat Earth maybe 9 years ago now, and he wrote me this massive essay, like huge. Took 20 minutes to read it, and it was all about how if the Earth were flat, he'd kill himself. And
Wow.
it was all about how we'd watch Star Wars our whole lives. We loved Star Wars. We loved Neil deGrasse Tyson, and if all this was a lie, that he couldn't handle it and he would kill himself. And
That's crazy. Yeah.
And I remember in response to him, I was like, this, what you're saying, it sort of proves my point about how globers are holding on to something without like actual evidence or truth. It's an emotional attachment. And then he regretted writing that to me because he knew I was right. He knew that all he did was speak about emotions, and he never spoke about anything like tangible or evidential or anything like that. And that, I think that sums up your point, that like it's more an emotional thing. And if they do lose it, if a large group of people lose the plot emotionally, we immediately have chaos.
Yeah, man, and it's order out of chaos. And remember, their goal is to divide and rule, or divide and you know what I mean? Like their fucking whole thing is like divvy up the
Yep.
people. That's why our job has to be, uniting the people, like finding the common ground in people. You know what I mean? Because like, that's what's going to save us. And the people who are going to try to tear everything down are going to try to tear everything down anyway. But like, I love the Bible, man. Because, for one, no weapon formed against us will prosper. Number two, anyone who digs a pit shall fall in it. So like, you can't be a conniving piece of shit without the life dealing with you. And like, and that's where our strength comes in, dude. Like, and that's where, that's why my fascination with law is where the spiritual work is actually fucking rewarded. And I know that sounds totally asinine to some people, but I don't know. I'm pushed in that direction of the idea that like you know what I mean? Your competency, your intelligence, the efforts you've made, and your morality and your spiritual work, those all come to fruition when fucking life is fucking really matters, man. And I don't know what to say to that. I mean, just God knows. But yeah, and like, that's why I think like, dude, if somebody
Totally true.
Flat Earth is not for everybody, bro. You know what I mean? Like it's not for everybody. As soon as you see that reaction in somebody, in one sense, it's like, just let them have it. Like, especially in the real world, like I don't fight nobody over these issues. I would never get like too serious. I never get serious about these issues, anyway, but I'm beyond that, but.
Isn't ultimately the truth for everyone? Ultimately, though?
What, the flat Earth?
Well, just the truth, whatever the truth is. Like you're saying, I know what you mean. It may not be everyone's cup of tea of like things to focus on, but you just said like you're saying it's not for everyone. I was just pushing back, being like, well, isn't the truth for everyone though on that level?
Well, I look at it like again, like we're of the, or I'm staunchly of the opinion that we can't prove it. So because it's unprovable, for either side to take a definitive stance, you know what I mean? Is like, it's almost like it's the flat Earth is the height of the intellectual idea of being able to entertain two opposing ideas simultaneously and reject both.
I thought we could prove it.
Well, like like the idea of like flat Earth, like, but in itself, like as an intellectual discourse, as its real reward for those of us who trust our senses enough to say, for A, we're not spinning, and B, it looks flat. Fucking, it's like the idea that like the real reward in it, the real reward in it is the really exercising the idea that you can entertain both ideas and not be committed to
I'm
either.
hearing you.
Not to be committed to either one, because that's where we get lost in the that's where the political thing comes into play. I just see that like, when it comes to like certain subjects, like, like a crime or like, something like that, like that it's a definitive moral choice. That's like, that's a deal breaker kind of a situation. But when it comes to the most ethereal, subliminal fucking mystery of mankind, i.e. the shape of the universe, or the shape of Earth, and what are the fucking stars? When it comes to that profound question, like, there's nobody who has claim on that. And that's where I kind of resort to that. Like, but I myself, I am more entertained by the idea of a flat Earth that goes on forever. That makes more sense to me. If the universe can go on forever, then the Earth is the floor of it. That makes sense to me. But like, but I'm not trying to like proselytize that idea in the real world, like on Discord
Does
out
it make
here.
sense?
Like,
Sorry, Isaac.
yeah.
Does it make sense because in the last 30 years we have that as an example right in front of us with like every game that's sort of been made. Like how you make a game, you've got an avatar, it's on the ground, and then there's just that's what is the world of the game. It's just the surface.
Well, look at the common ground that we have.
Wherever it ends outside the game.
Yep. Look at the common ground we have with the quantum theorists. The idea of simulation theory, because that's what it is, right? Simulation theory is that you're like, it's like a simulation, but it's forever and ever. And as far as you're concerned, it's flat and it goes on forever from your perspective. You know what I mean? Like there's no other way to fucking, to verify that it's spherical in any way. We've all fucking kind of seen that. I mean, anyone who says that they've seen the curvature from a plane is retarded and lying to themselves. And that's proven by fucking science and scientists themselves who've said that. So it looks flat. You know what I mean? Like it's irrelevant whether I think it's a globe or not. All that knowledge is completely irrelevant. For me, I'm satisfied with that position as being my argument as to why it's immovable for me, But like in the same regards, I'm going off on a tangent because I was trying to make a point about what you said too, man. Fuck me.
Keep going.
I'm halfway to the joint, man. Forgive me. But the idea of like, flat Earth is just this. Like, dude, really, the only ones who've made the claim is the ballers. This is where even I think back in the day, flat earthers and ballers, there was nothing to argue about so fanatically about. If you thought it was a globe, that was because of your reasonings. And if I thought it was flat, it was because of my reasonings. But we still got to go fucking get the fucking apples off the tree and go, you know what I mean? Like, we still got to go harvest this shit right now. So we'll talk about this later and let's fucking, over a beer. And neither of us knows. But when they fucking said they landed on the moon, and when they said they did that, that's what fucked it all up. Because it became political. It became like a matter of nationalism. It became like, it got tied into all the other emotional things that like would trigger that dude's brother. You know what I mean? Like Anthony's brother, right? It's because they tied it into politics. They tied it into fucking like,
Can they say isn't it as bigger? Isn't it as bigger industry as the movie industry, and music industry, and the sports industry altogether?
Right. I wouldn't know the numbers, but that would fucking sound reasonable to me because, and I often think to myself, like, this is why because, all right, let's check this out. What if, like, do you know who the Merry Pranksters are? Right? Merry Pranksters, like, a bunch of hippies from the fucking 60s that were like on LSD and like, they were whole like trying to trick the system, like Abby, like that guy who wrote Steal This Book. I think it's Abby Hoffman, right? He's right? Steal This Book, Abby Hoffman. But like like this whole the whole idea of like hustling the system. So like think of the ultimate computer smart man, hippie, smoking weed, doing LSD with his girlfriend on the weekends, fucking kind of character. They would create a hustle, i.e., make CGI pictures to give to the government and fucking make them believe all this shit. So I sometimes wonder if it's not like a bunch of friends of Robert Anton Wilson, who somehow managed to get $19 billion a year from the federal government or something. I just think there's more at play than all that on a serious note. But they tied all that moon landing into the Carterization of people's fucking imagination, and now people are all fucked because they don't have any other choice but materialistic rationalism, nihilism. It's what Nietzsche fucking talked about when they fucking moved the sun, man. They killed God. That's what he said. That's why when people quote Nietzsche saying, "Oh, man killed God," he didn't mean that. He was saying that by literally, he was talking about the fucking sun being removed from the center of the universe or whatever, because they still had the solar, I guess, you know what I mean, at the time. They believed they were like a solar system with the sun was in the center. And then when they started to move the sun, that's what Nietzsche wrote about when he was talking about. He's like, which way is up, which way is down? He goes, surely, you've killed God, by doing this, because you've taken away all order in the universe. And he was, and that's why when they confirmed that, they confirmed the worst part of Nietzsche's prediction and carterized that part. That's why everyone is materialistic, rationalistic, nihilists, because there's no other logical conclusion. There is no, if you believe you're on a spinning ball, baseball, the rest of it, it's like God is like a fanciful idea of the ancients. It's, it's not real. It's like, I just feel like there's no authenticity to some degree. Maybe, who am I to say that, right? But at the same time, I think there's really a logical deduction that happens. And that's
definitely a deduction. I wouldn't say it takes it away altogether, but there's definitely a huge deduction.
Yeah, you're just and even you're positing all the scientific implications, and if you're framing it in the idea that the Big Bang just created everything and you're just floating through space, and it's I don't know. I think that it's done something to the creative mind of mankind. I think it's made it negative, and it's made
any Christian or religious person who says that it hasn't, I think that they have to be lying to themselves in some way. That's how I feel too, but you never know.
Yeah, well, I just think there's this idea of any one of us, we consider ourselves rational people. And I think that's why a lot of us before Flat Earth were into science, into space travel, thought it was all legit. And then this common sense shit comes into play, and you're like, wait a minute, that doesn't seem like that would actually play out that way. And this doesn't make sense. And that doesn't make sense. It's like a lot, Flat Earth is like a nerdy fucking little rabbit hole. But I just think, and it really opens up the whole discussion again. And what a fine discussion, because you learn about math, you learn language, you learn about all the possible, just all the terminology and all the shit you kind of got to learn about it. It's everything on Earth. You're gonna learn something.
I feel like if I didn't become a flat earther 8 years ago, I wouldn't have a multinational corporation in Kenya.
Fucking right.
I'd be working at Safeways, I reckon.
Oh, right. Maybe just giving up. Yeah, that's awesome, man. How cool is that, bro? Yeah, even just the idea that yeah, people, I don't know, man. I think flat Earth is something it's like a fine wine, and either you dig it or you don't. But to Gio's point, but if it is the truth, and I'm just saying, I don't think anyone really. I prefer the world we lived in where nobody really thought they understood the truth, or thought they had it completely.
I guess some people can't handle the truth. Is the point? Is the response to Gio? The truth is for everybody, but some people can't handle it. Some people aren't in the right place to handle the truth. The famous Tom Cruise. You can't handle the truth. No, the other guy. Who said that again?
But then, oh yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, Nicholson. But
Nicholson.
Yeah. But the idea though that the Globers will then come in and say, well, you can't handle the truth, and the truth is you went to the fucking moon.
We used to love that truth. You handled it fine. I was handling it fine. I was pumped about it. So that doesn't make sense.
But that's where it gets to I mean, and that's why we can argue about it here. You know what I mean? But I think of there's certainly also like this, like I said about earlier, is like the idea that their goal is to divide and conquer. So you got to check yourself when you're in the middle of dividing and letting them conquer. Because like creating division with people that really it's like when somebody gets like emotional about, like I was literally talking with a friend of mine in the real world about like 2 weeks ago, and he's like, "You still like?" He saw something about he saw something about the 24-hour trip, whatever. And because everybody somehow saw that video, So, like, but like, or something about it. And he asked me, "Oh, what do you think about this?" Like, and I was just like, it doesn't, affect my position about flat Earth. I was like, I'm still a flat earther. And he was like, "Come on," nah, nah, nah. And he's like, "What about the moon landing?" And I was like, "Well, I just think it's all fucking fake." And I was like, "Are you telling me this shit's real?" And for them, most of them were just like, "Well, yeah, that shit might have been fake, but they really went like secret mission style or something." And that's like what they believe. And I don't know. It's like,
Well,
okay.
Lisa, what do you think about? Are you on the same page as a lot of people with this 24-hour thing? Like that, basically, it's irrelevant what's happening in the sky. We just need to stick to the measuring of the ground. Like it's not called flat. It's not nothing to do with sky. It's Earth. Is that where you're at, or do you think like they literally faith going there and they, sun simulator? They've been working in Antarctica for freaking 20 years setting it up, and what old mate brought a freaking vape and lost his marbles. Like, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I don't really know too much about the drama of the people, but the idea of the 24-hour sun, like, I look at it like this: the idea that I'm curving around the Earth is so just on its face retarded to me that nothing in the sky could make me fucking consider that I'm like antipodal to anybody.
Yeah, me too. And that
And it's
one,
just
the one that gets me the most is the sun. Like sometimes I can see it going away, and I can feel it going away. I can
like,
feel it. It's
I
like
don't know if,
getting fucking less hot. And then they're telling us that it's 93 million miles away, and it's just that we're curving away and changing the angle. And it's like, no, that's just fucking not happening. Like, we all know it.
well, I mean, I look at it like this: like, it's an interesting idea. Like, it's an inch, like the globe. And I had to learn this from my buddy Kath, back Cathexis back in the day. Is just like the globe is legit in the sense that it answers a lot of like questions that let's
It's,
say
it's clever. It's
and
clever.
I feel
It's
like
like a
and but it's
fucking, what
just a
you do when
model.
you're doing sales. When you're doing sales and you need to rebut people's, it's called objection handling. Like, it's a good exercise in objection handling. It's handled many objections over the years. So yeah, it's somewhat in a way, I feel like what you're saying is like it's kind of had its place in our reality for a certain amount of time. It's brought us to somewhere. It's helped us to learn in a certain way or understand in a certain way, but now it's probably got to go.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it even is going anywhere in the sense of I think it's just I think it's more like that. You know that show? Have you ever watched that show Lost?
Oh
Is it
yeah, I watched the shit out of it.
so right? So like like how just it's just crazy, and I just think like Earth has this like um kind of mystique about it. And I just think that the globe is the globe as they present it is an interesting proposition. It's a great model. It could be what it could be based off of the stars. Like it could be, but the idea that I'm fucking like gonna be like I said, antipodal to somebody, just it's so ridiculous of an idea. And especially like I can't I don't know. I just think the sky isn't gonna make me interpret the ground as spherical. And I know that it's
So
just like
if
it's
they did the so if we worked out how to do the force align experiment, like and if I'm correct, and anyone correct me if they feel like I'm wrong, but I believe that force align experiment is possible, but it would be a large amount of money that would be needed, like tens of millions of dollars. if we could do that, and that created a definitive result, do you think that could, you know how you said at the start of this discussion, you know, like neither way is provable? But what about if we could basically measure that there was no curvature, or we could, you know, definitively measure that over a long distance that, you know, it remained like 100% flat? Do you think that could
Well, I
sort of
think they
like move
always
things in either direction?
nah, because what they're always going to do is because like when you get there and you're like, you know, but it looks really flat. They're like, of course it does because it's level and level's curved. Like there's no getting around there. You're not proving this to anyone. Like you know what I mean? They have an answer for all of it. So it's like the idea that you're gonna. I mean, I just don't know. It's like lasers have traveled far enough. I just think refraction plays too much into it to prove anything. Uh, I think like, you know, the idea that, you know, their answer is always going to be that the plumb bob is going to be level but that's still curving. And like, you know, I just
that forced the line experiment. I'm borderline retarded. I was vaccinated my whole life, so I barely understand the experiment. But doesn't it take away like lasers, and doesn't it take away refraction because you're building like a physical structure that
right, but they're
goes
gonna
along?
right, but they're gonna
Sorry.
always have the answer. Even if you had something 6 inches off the ground for 20 miles,
Yep.
right? They're gonna say, "Yep, that's exactly what it would look like." Like you
I
can't
guess
win.
so.
You can't win because they're always gonna be like, I mean, I don't know what to say. They're just never gonna like. Which I don't, you know, I just don't know what to say. I don't care enough about it. But like, um, yeah, they're not gonna relent. They're
You
gonna
know,
look
I
at it
tend to
as
agree.
though,
I tend to agree with you. Unfortunately, I agree with you, but I don't want to agree with you. Like, I can feel something in me going, "Nah, don't agree with him." Like that. No, there
but
is something. There is something that we can definitively do that, like, creates, I don't know, a gigantic switch or move. And obviously, there will be people that just never give up on anything because there's always, you know, you throw billions into the mix, and you're always going to have people that never give up on things. But I don't know. I feel like there has got to be something that will definitively sway, you know, like the majority.
yeah, I just feel like if you know, if the idea that you can't trust yourself that you're not spinning, I don't know, man. That to me is huge. Like, you know, just the idea that like you're gonna think you're fucking spinning, but you know, and of course there's no way you'd be able to feel it.
So what you're saying is that the fact that we think that, well, like majority thinks that we're spinning when there's nothing in our experience says that we are. The fact that that is happening is evidence that, like, we'll never really be able to prove something like the tangibility of the ground curving or not curving either, because it's so obvious that we're not spinning, yet we still think we are. That it'll be the same principle applied for anything else. Is that what you mean?
Wait, well, yeah, I love like what's that Beatles song, man? The you know, the fool on the hill, you know, sees the sun going down, but in his mind he thinks the world's turning round. You know, it's like we lost the plot.
Unbelievable, really.
You know what I mean? I just that's how it's kind of trips me out with that. You know, like that's what um
I think it's time for the song.
all right. I'm gonna see. I fucking.
Welcome to the show.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I've been working on this one. Just I'm working on this just for Lucy. The
Yeah, play that one then.
looking for the edge. Help me, my friend. I don't know if I'm losing my mind. Yeah. I see through this global perception to level out my perception for you. Stepping through these mysteries, I've been waiting patiently. Now I'm looking for the edge, looking for the edge. Help me, my friend. I don't know if I'm losing my mind. Looking for the edge. Across the distances, I can feel you waiting for me. And it takes up all my time. I can feel the sun. I can feel the breeze. My darling, I'm on my knees, looking for the edge. Looking for the edge. Be my friend. Across the distances, I can see. And it takes up all my time. I can feel the sun. I can feel the breeze. My darling, I'm on my looking for the edge. Help me, my friend. Get on. Welcome to the show. If you don't know, welcome to the show. You know, didn't they teach you to reach for the stars while opening up the bars and keeping you chained down with mortgage bills and cars, vaccines for your arms, kids sounding like supercharged? Caffeinated hate-filled scars, rage quit repertoires, no answers for yards, caught up in emotion, it's not even yours. Imposter truths like impeccable retards, lined up for your serving of Gish Gallop and war. No remedy could save the lost in love with the yarn. I'm tired of walking into refracted shards, poor science displayed by disgusting bards. Soaked in sin with your dupe as delight and a new end of cards. It's been so long, it seems like forever. I'm just too hard, that's it. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
You don't know. What's up, brother?
Sorry, I was just singing with you. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, you're good, brother. Yeah. Welcome to the show. Intoxicated hate makes you believe you're spinning in space while you have no shame or grace. It's a disdainful state. I used to contemplate how to save myself from my own self-hate. Wonder why I was even made with a dreadful fate, forced to try and awake with a full plate. No one to help me stay awake or educate. I've had to liberate and fight to hidden gates, but my brother, heaven could never be late, and now rockets, they don't work in space. It's all fake. The show on Mars, a joke, but they're too far gone, and it won't be long. Our beaks are strong, said we have our song and we march along like streams of knowledge leading to God's holy pond, and lives of truth that hits the bond and sings the song, turns mankind from wrong. We come in peace with a holy gown and not swearing our holy crowns. So the earth is flat, I probably just won't get along, just to go along. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. If you don't know,
I feel like somehow I dreamed about that song 10 years before it was made.
Oh man, fucking love that dude. I love our fucking people, man.
Nothing,
I love all you
nothing
motherfuckers.
about
I
it,
love
bro.
all you motherfuckers that were here for this shit, man. It's so fun.
I've sent that song to so many people, and I've got such mixed reviews. I sent it once to a friend of mine, like a real staunch globehead, and we were both conspiracy theorists when we were in high school, you know, and we were, you know, discovering things. I think it was around the Zeitgeist, you know, when that Zeitgeist video came
Yeah.
out, and he's always hated flat Earth, always hated it, and I sent that song to him, and I said it reminded me of him for some reason, and he spat. The song must have touched a chord in him. There's some truth about that song that he must have known but refused to accept, and he hit the roof. He cracked the shits. We had the biggest fight of all time about that song. How dare I mock him by saying that it reminded me of him? And I've had other boys that I've sent that song to that, like, they've immediately rolled up a fat one after it because it's just put them in this. I had goosebumps just you playing that. Then, like, I got to hear a song that I love live. That was really cool, bro. Thanks.
Dude, thank you, dude. Thank you. I fucking love you, motherfuckers.
I'm going straight to YouTube. I'll be back in 5.
Hey, Issa, I just want to second that guy's notion. It was nice to hear it live. I remember listening to that song on YouTube.
Thanks, man. Yeah, dude, I love that fucking we have our little crew of people that were kind of there, and everybody's still kind of around.
I'm gonna share it on my my social media again. Every time I share it, I get donuts, like absolute donuts. But if even if it just gets one person, I'm like, yes, that'll do.
Oh, dude,
Issa,
yeah, I love it.
I've been here for 10 years. I'm not going anywhere.
Right, there's too many fucking awesome folks. There you go. Yeah, man. April Fool's Day tomorrow. You guys playing any tricks on it? Yo, we should all pretend we used to do that with yo, you know what we did? I remember back on Free Chan. You guys would appreciate this. And I don't know if you guys have done it over here maybe too. I know we used to do it on Free Chan, but like on April Fool's Day, everyone's an opposite. So like the
Yeah, we're
Glovers,
all going to be Lakers
the Glovers
tomorrow.
got to argue for flat Earth, and the flat Earthers got to argue for the globe. What if it's all a big April Fool's trick with like the whole 24-hour sun thing? Jaren's gonna come out tomorrow, like, yo, just kidding, guys. I got 5 on the idea that Jaren's gonna pretend to go back to flat Earth for April Fool's Day and think it's funny. What about if Jaren's just going deep under flat Earth cover? You know, just like deep cover. Got to be a Glober now. Yo, we should do that. Like every time, like he's like, "Yeah, it's a globe." We should wink and nod, like, "Sure, it is." You know, treat him like he's an undercover agent, like, you know, for Flat Earth, working for us. Got all the Globers tricked right now. You guys are just jumping all over that. That's hilarious. I like the idea of treating Jaren like, "Sure, it is," like with a big wink. You know. It's weird. Like, I don't know if the phone is causing this. That's wild. When the phone is on the keyboard, it makes like a static. He might be hot micing, brother. Yo, Anthony, you're hot miking, brother. Just so you know.
Oh, my mic's on. Sorry.
You're good, bro. Or you just sound like it was in your pocket or something.
Yeah, no, I was in opposite land, and then I turned my mic off and then started talking.
Right on.
Man, I got all this stuff to do today. Like, ugh. And then if I like play some good music, like some Christian music, or like play the Bible, everything changes. My whole perspective changes. I get so much energy. I feel great. Like it's so weird. It's